I may not be playing with a full deck, but the hand I play with has all the aces and wild cards. Johnny Ringo, I call your bluff. I'm all in and prepared to double down, sir.
I'm your huckleberry. Why, Johnny Ringo, you look like somebody just walked over your grave.
I was just fooling about.
I wasn't.
Say when? Poor soul. You were just too high-strung.
I'm afraid the strain was more than he could bear.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Petite Island Talk. I am your host, Petite Fireball, coming at you from a very cold Smith Island, Maryland. Please keep in mind that all thoughts, opinions, and commentary are mine and meant for entertainment purposes. Please do not send any hate or negative commentary to any other channel or individual or system that we might be discussing in this segment. Now let's move on. What are we talking about? Today, we are going to be discussing the smoke and mirrors amongst the media, Hollywood, and Hollywood types. Let's get started.
You called down the thunder, well now you got it. Tawanda.
Welcome to End Times, where the veil is going to be lifted and the deceivers will ultimately expose themselves. Use your discernment and your intuition. Right now, good is portrayed as evil, and evil is portrayed as good. Sometimes it can be really difficult to tell, especially when your perception is distorted. Everyone nowadays is capable of creating their own Hollywood. If some uneducated redneck YouTube channel can provoke, intimidate, instill fear, plant messages, spread false information, and provoke a mob mentality, all without the use of a green screen, by the way, just using their laptop for these things, then what do you think the media and Hollywood are doing? Media outlets? Well, they were invented to spread propaganda. And propaganda is about controlling the masses. Have you ever wondered why Hollywood is called Hollywood? Traditionally, Druid wands were made from a holly branch. Holly is one of the rarer kinds of wand woods traditionally considered protective. Works most happily on those who need help overcoming a tendency to anger and impetuosity. But at the same time, the holly wands often choose owners who are engaged in some dangerous and often bad spiritual quests. You want to know why the industry is called the craft? Well, I just told you. Because they're involved in the dark arts. Sodom and Gomorrah at its best. Hollywood, for sure. But what? Those people you idolize through some kind of a black mirror, they couldn't possibly be giving you a different presentation, could they? They couldn't possibly be lying to you. Those people that you idolize, A-listers. I'll tell you why an A-lister is called an A-lister in a minute. But first, let's get to the television part. Television. What does that mean? Well, break it down. It means you're being told lies through vision. Why is a program called a program? Because you are being programmed. An A-lister is actually an A-lister, meaning that they are completely indoctrinated into Aleister Crowley and the occult. He was one of the most evil men that ever lived and definitely a very outspoken occultist, very intrigued in ancient Egyptian magic, and he even referred to himself as the Beast 666. Crowley's most vile rituals with sex magic included children. Barbara Bush is actually believed to be one of Crowley's offspring. That's right, Barbara. Shh, I'd keep that one under wraps too. A new Hollywood religion definitely came on the scene with Anton LaVey. He was an occultist who founded the Church of Satan. He reinvented Satanism. He often enjoyed cannibalistic dinners with his Hollywood inner circle. All of these people have a universal allegiance to Satan. All right, now it's my territory. Let's talk about the Jews in Hollywood. You know, the ones that run everything. They actually belong to the synagogue of Satan. These people are the remnants of Baal-worshipping Pharisees from ancient times. You know, the ones that Jesus fought against. They masquerade as Jews, but behind closed doors, they are anything but. I venture to say there's a lot of fake Christians masquerading as real ones as well. Do you really know who you're watching, or what you're watching, or how much of the narrative has been guided? Are you learning something? Good. You know what eludes me though is how some people can watch a YouTube channel that is clearly faker than CNN and more scripted than TLC. They can see every contradiction, but systematically talk themselves out of the stuff that they're seeing and hearing because of some kind of image that they have in their mind. That's why we're not supposed to have any images before God. This is your host, Petite Fireball, signing off. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Petite Island Talk. I will catch you guys next time. But until then, check your perspective, check your discernment, and check your cards. I'll see you at the OK Corral.